What's up, everybody?
Hello.
We're here at WFYM Studios with Jack Wagner from Jack Wagner
What up?
Studios.
That's true. I'm patching in live right now from my studio in sunny Los Angeles, California. How's it going, boys?
Beautiful.
So what's it like working with Brandon Wardell?
Next question, please.
Jack, do you want me to give you an answer that you can give somebody else when they ask you that? Because I know you're asked that all the time. You can say it's quite Wardellian.
Ooh, okay, I'll use that.
Yeah.
And I'll credit you.
We're gonna make it a thing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't let him know yet, but I'm just glad it's become a thing, and then he'll just find out.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it'll be a genre.
Yeah. Movie genre.
How are you guys doing?
Very
It's been
good.
a long time.
Yeah,
Very well.
dude.
It's been a minute.
You've been traveling a lot. I always see you in like
I've been,
fucking Hawaii or Mexico or Peru or.
I just went to Turks and Caicos and fell off a moped.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Okay.
Is it on the wrong side of the road?
It was. We did have to ride on the opposite side of the road in Turks and Caicos.
Damn.
But that's not like I was riding fine, but I just like hit a weird patch of gravel and like Chelsea was in the back, my fiance, and she fell on top of me, but somehow cut her foot open kind of bad.
Oh fuck.
God
We're
damn.
both like
Sus.
we're
Did you
both-
get a boner?
we're both actually fine, but it was like, dude, riding around a strange place, like trying to find a doctor, having to get back on the bike you just fell off of, and then like bleeding, and then have to ride somewhere
Yeah,
to find a
that
doctor was so
sucks.
shitty.
Especially like another country.
And,
Awesome.
There was talk about trying to make Turks and Caicos a Canadian territory or province.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, there must be like cobalt or something there. They must have found some rare earth minerals.
Dude, some car was like, just go by the grocery store. I was like, where can we get stitched up? And they were like, go to the grocery store, like up that road. There's a place near it. They said like, go near the grocery store. So I got there and then we like looked around and I didn't see anything. I realized how shaky of a plan it was. And we're like both like bleeding on the ground and like,
God.
and like all the businesses had just like different types of names. You know, like I didn't even know what I was looking for. And we almost dipped, but then at the last minute, like it was like a prison transport vehicle was like I ran up and asked them, and like the place where we needed to go was just called like inspections or something. It had like a sign that said inspections, but dude, in and out, they patched us up. It cost like $30, and that
Awesome.
included prescriptions.
Hell
All
yeah.
right.
It was weirdly fast. Like in and out and receiving medicine took like 25 minutes.
All right, so you're
awesome.
saying if you
Oh,
get,
we should all go over
yeah,
there.
if you get cut up in
Yeah.
America, just fly to Turks and Caicos.
Get this.
Get
Just like
on the plane with a big
pushing
head wound.
along a moped, being like, "Oh, I fell off and it gave me stage 4 lung cancer. You need to treat it for free."
Dude, it was a saga.
I wanted to see if I was making up the thing about Canada, and we first tried to have Turks come in 1917 and then again in the 70s. And currently, healthcare, the majority of care is provided by private-public partnership hospitals managed by InterHealth Canada. Blah, blah,
Whoa.
blah. In addition to their number of government clinics and private clinics, the hospitals opened in 2010 have been accredited by Accreditation Canada since 2012. So you got Canadian
Really?
healthcare when you were in
Oh, you know
Turks
who
and
vetoed
Caicos.
that?
Who?
David Lloyd George, the king.
Oh, what a
Wow.
fucking prick. Imagine I could go down there, not have to like have a passport. That'd be so dope.
That's
Bro, if I lived in one of those like Commonwealth Protectorate Caribbean nations, they drive on the left side of the road, I would just start to tell them like, guys, just let's start driving on the other side. They're not gonna even know. Let's switch everything back. Fuck it, this sucks.
wait. So like, I thought Turks was still a territory or like of
Yeah, it's a British
you
crown
know, the British
dependency.
Empire.
Yeah, it is. And so we were like, I think at the time, like, come on, guys, let's have it. We're closer. It'll be cool. And the king was like, no.
Yeah,
Is
the
it- am
king,
I?
the king,
Or not the king. I said he's the king, like colloquially. The prime minister.
Andrew Lloyd Webber after he shot it down.
The King of
Yeah, it's
Canada
true.
said no.
Oh,
That's yeah.
Aaron pulled $1 out of his wallet to check if the king was on it.
Dude, is
Stupid.
Canada still affiliated with the British Empire? Like, what's the status there?
Is
I feel kind
Canada?
of ignorant to this.
They're
Yeah,
dick
the
Yeah,
queen's
riders.
on the money, right?
Oh yeah,
Dick-
Queen's,
Queen's on the.
she's the queen of Canada.
They're dick
That's
riders.
kinda cucked.
Still.
Yeah, no, like Canada, I think
Why
more
don't you
than
guys
like
just break it
Australia
off?
or New Zealand are major dick riders.
True.
I don't know. I think if you took a public opinion poll that most people would be in favor or not care. There are like, whenever it comes up on Twitter, there's like very loud, big red, bald, fat guys that get upset about it and like want to live under the queen still.
Aaron, can you
But,
find us a good monarchist neolib Canadian to have on the show?
Me,
Well, we tried to get Don Hughes on.
my dad.
Oh yeah, Don Hughes. He'll be on one day.
It's
Speaking
it's so
of-
backwards. I feel like it's like the elephant with like the string attached to it, you know, from birth or whatever that little
Did
story
you-
is. Like I feel like Canadians so much more powerful than England now.
Yeah, I mean, functionally, there's no use for the queen, though she could technically veto anything that happens in our government.
Did you guys hear?
That's
what the-
crazy.
That would
They
also
flexed
like
that on Australia.
yeah. It would cause like massive upheaval if that were to happen. So I think it's just like a truce that they won't do anything.
When I was
They're waiting until Elizabeth dies.
when I was younger and Diana died, the reception of that, especially as like I had a lot of I had Americlaps around me, the kind of people that stand up and clap at the end of any parade, whether it's Santa, Jesus, or the mayor. They worshipped her, but like only after she died, just like everybody else. And I thought the royal family was going to be so much more important down the line because of that. I'm like,
I did
damn,
too. I remember coming to school
this is crazy.
when that happened, and like I was young, girls in my class were crying in my classroom
Yeah.
So
when she
weird.
died, and I was like, I remember feeling like I really missed a memo. I was like, wait, like I don't even know who that is.
Yeah,
Is
was
that
that
the person? Like, yeah, I like never heard of her. I was like completely baffled.
I was at a wedding when it
And-
happened, and I was a little kid in the wedding, and I remember all the fucking bridesmaids and shit like weepy.
Just taking a knee, like.
Yeah, that's what I did.
The British royal family, it's weird how they I mentioned how obviously like when Elizabeth dies and probably Charles, once people see him, everyone's going to say no to it. They're going to say get it all out of here the second they see his big red potato face. But like, it's weird how like Diana's kids seem sort of normal.
Yeah, true.
Like it's way past the time where people would ever want monarchy again. But like, I don't know, William and Harry seem like almost normal, non-inbred humans.
yeah, like as normal as
skipped
you're
it.
going to be, right?
I was a really woke 9-year-old when she died. Like at the wedding, I was like, oh, back in the day when a princess died like this, it's just a regular political move. And also, no one's even worried about Dodi Fayed. I let everybody know. I was really
Yeah.
woke.
No
Smart
doty heads
9-year-olds.
out there?
Yeah, I was a Dodi head.
I fuck with Prince Harry. He's kind of a pimp. Remember those? There's like a lot of pictures of him partying, smoking cigs back in the day.
Yeah. Do you
You seen
remember
those?
Dressed
do you
up
remember
as
the
a-
reality
Good
show?
era.
His Halloween costume.
You're going to the Halloween party as a Nazi?
Do you remember the?
Oh my god.
Do you remember the reality show Wanna Marry Harry or whatever, where they had the guy that just looked just like him dating all the girls?
Yeah.
the girls thought they were dating the fucking prince.
Yeah, like, how could
I
you
do
think
not
that's
remember
real?
that.
They wouldn't let that happen.
It's such a good
They
idea.
put him in a house and take all their phones and shit, and then just have him walk in. They're like, I guess that's what he looks like. Can't remember now.
It's such a
Like,
good
the
idea.
royal
to
family is
trick
just
people.
so regimented what they're allowed to do. Like,
Bro, they should do that again, but like say it's Tom Cruise and just have this little fucking short, big smiled, weird looking guy. Be like, hey.
they
Like,
should do it with Prince Andrew and
like
kids.
Tim Heidecker with John Depp style. Like have even just do like Johnny Depp house, like the real one.
Yeah,
Like,
a real
have
one?
John Depp the actor. Just be him and be like, oh yes, and kissing on these women that are like just like stupid Twitter women.
Yeah, that's a plausible enough idea that they could make it real. Or like Mr. Beast should make it real. They should do the Johnny
Well,
Depp
I mean,
house.
they did
Yeah.
they tried something similar with like what was it? Joe Millionaire was very much that, where it's just
That was a great.
a bunch of
yeah.
women think this guy's a
Goated
millionaire,
show.
and then they're like, actually, he's just a construction worker, and they're like, oh, okay. And then I think they tried for like a second season, and it just
Didn't-
didn't.
Yeah,
work
we
out.
watched it on
Was it-
Patreon.
wasn't it
like a-
it sucks.
Was it like a
It sucked
double
real
debate though?
bad.
Because they're like, guess what? He's actually a poor construction worker, and they're like, aw.
Yeah.
And they're like, actually, he is rich, but you
We're gonna
reacted
give you the money
weirdly.
from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, he is rich, but you reacted weirdly, so you don't get to date him.
It was weird because
Yeah.
he wasn't really like a millionaire, like a famous guy. He was like a guy who had an inheritance or something. Like
That's
even in like
cool.
the lie of the show, it was like, oh, he has like a pretty successful gas station chain
Mhm.
in
Joe's-
Arizona.
Joe's
like,
610,000
oh, alright.
there. Cool. He's in the oil industry in North Dakota. You go there, it's just 2 gas stations.
Yeah, it's like he's the richest guy
He's
in
an
his
olive
county in
oil
North
distributor
Dakota.
in North Dakota.
This is the finest olive oil in Minot. You know what I learned recently? They grow rice in Arkansas,
Huh.
What the fuck?
kind of all over across the. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, they grow it in Georgia too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the most mysterious states.
pretty racist. Not the one thing not
I only
mysterious
know
about
one
it.
person from there.
One thing I like to do is
Are
Bill
they
Clinton.
racist?
go to Bill Clinton, Jerry Springer as well, right?
I thought he was
Oh, wow.
Cincinnati.
He was
Oh,
a
maybe
mayor
you're right.
of Cincinnati. I don't know if he's from Cincinnati, but he lived in Cincinnati for most of his life, or like not most.
I'm
of
not
it,
gonna look it up. I'm just going off my head.
but- Yeah, that's
I'm probably wrong. There's a lot of places, and maybe I'm just confusing because there's a lot of places in Arkansas that ends with springs. There's hot springs, there's big springs, there's slalom springs.
There's
Jerry
Springs.
Jerry
Jerry Springer. One thing I like to do though, Jack, and you may enjoy this if you're just sitting around bored one day, go down to like those racist towns like I mentioned. Slalom Springs, super Nazi town. It's awesome. Harrison,
Yeah,
of
sounds
course.
dope.
Go on Google Maps and just search tattoo parlor, and then go to the photos and just look up the
God.
photos in all those places. And it's
Dude,
so
well,
you see the coolest
what-
creatures.
what thread were you, like, I commented on it, but you were like posting all these women in like Florida or something?
The Boynton Beach creature thread. Yeah, I'm keeping
Oh
that going
my God.
too. I'm gonna keep that going.
Where are
'cause
you
there's so
finding
many.
it?
Just my sources.
Dude, you know what would make a really good movie once we know more about it? But like, there's for sure CIA agents in Mar-a-Lago right now, right? And probably were the entire time. You'd
Yeah.
have to be, right? Like counter espionage guys.
Yeah, this
Like,
is like
at the-
like Adam McKay movie.
Bro, there's a reason why all of the women that are on the news at Mar-a-Lago getting interviewed defending Trump have thick fucking accents that are just ambiguously like maybe kind of Russian or Spanish. Can't really tell.
It's like those far right groups where it's like 3 FBI agents and 3 ATF agents and 3 cops and like,
Then just one local cop that's just a racist. He wasn't even in on it. Hey, what the hell?
it's
I was
just
in
like
on it too.
Indian and Russian agents like trying to get dirt on each other.
Because it's
Thinking
so
they're
easy to
American.
get in there. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you could just sign up and become a member. Like,
Jack, we
uh,
we watched Trump on Howard Stern on Saturday night, and it was like right before he was about to marry Melania, and it was so fucking cool. Stern asked him like, "So,
You know
what do you
anal?
love so much about her? Does she give great oral?"
Yeah, is it the oral? Is that what you like?
oh my
He was-
God.
And Trump's like, well, she's wonderful. And then like Trump's talking like actually complimenting her, and Howard interrupted him again, asked him about anal with her. So cool. Trump dodged
Dude,
it
we called this guy named Eddie Shippick. Have you ever heard of this dude? He's like a weird Instagram guy.
No.
Sounds so familiar, but I don't know why.
Look at him. I haven't checked it. He's like a person. I didn't actually follow him because it seems like such a commitment, but he's like some, high roller Miami type guy. I'm looking at his Instagram right now, and probably the 20 most recent posts are a picture of the same shirt. I'll send you guys a link in the chat, but
Fucking idiot.
he posts a lot about like a lot of videos of food, but he hangs out at Mar-a-Lago a lot. But we called him on the podcast one time because like this dude Big Wet was on. He like has his phone number and like talks to him for some reason. And Eddie was like, Big Wet was asking him like, how do we go to Mar-a-Lago? He's like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, I'll get you in there. Let's go. Yeah, I got a pass. Like
Oh
just
my
come on down
God.
here. We'll go. And I just remember thinking like,
It
dude,
does have to be pretty easy. You probably, if you roll up in a nice car and you're dressed nice, and you're like, I fucking love Trump. Make America great again. They'd be like, oh, sick. Come on in.
well, I think you could just become a member of the golf club. You just like,
True.
it's like an active golf club. So
It's like a mission in a video game.
for
Like
sure.
You attend a party and then you just sneak off to the other room and then you get the nuclear football and then you leave. Like, you can actually do that.
Shit, man.
Well,
Like, sorry, I'll be
It's
in the
funny.
bathroom 1 second.
they were using it as like a Camp David for a while, right? Like where it was like
believe
a
so,
second
yeah.
White House almost. And like, that's the whole nature of this, like the raid or whatever. But
Yeah, were they calling
this whole
it the,
raid is
were they
like,
calling it the Southern White House?
yeah, it's like, dude, imagine how much stuff you could have had access to if you were a spy. It would have been so easy.
without even trying. Like you just walk
No.
in there and you're just like, "Hey, Trump, I'm a big fan. Like, what are you planning in the next summit?" And he's just gonna spill the
Imagine
beans.
like being a housekeeper there. Like they kept the fucking shit in the closet.
yeah,
I feel like there's so many versions of that sitcom or whatever
Yeah.
where it's like, it would be really funny if at one point, like every single person in the housekeeping staff was actually like an intelligence agent from a different country or like a double agent or something.
You know what tone they should do this movie in? An exact sort of plot rip from Smokin' Aces, where you have like six
Oh my God.
6 or 7 people all trying to get it at the same time, trying to infiltrate in the same way. Perfect.
Was that the Assassin movie?
Yeah, where they're all trying to kill the same
Where
guy.
they're all like
in
sniping
Tahoe.
each other?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was such a funny era of movies.
That's a fun movie. That was when Chris Pine played the Nazi. He was a riot brother.
Around the time I think Domino came out and like Shoot 'Em Up. Remember that movie?
Yep. Shoot 'Em Up was sick. The sex scene with him killing people with carrots. So cool.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think I worked in a movie theater at that time in my life, so like I remember like every movie that came through. I worked at a 30-screen theater.
Again, so speaking of movie ideas, since Jack's on the show and he is a Hollywood filmmaker.
We call him Hollywood Jack.
I thought of another movie idea this week that I wanted to run by you. And it's not the Fortnite one that everyone hated. So, okay, it's 20 years in the future, right? Kind of like gritty, kind of cyberpunky, right? And police violence has escalated so much. So there's kind of like a social justice message in this too. That the government's brought in a second, more powerful police force that can only police the policeman, right? So if a police does police brutality, the secondary police force, got to think of a cool name for them. They
the FBI.
they kind of Judge Dredd style
The RoboCop.
the RoboCops punish the regular cops.
That.
Then the regular cops are like, wait, why are we taking this shit? We got to rebel. And so then the regular cops start trying to kill the super cops that are there to kill the regular cops. And the movie's called Cop War.
Wow.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme's in it.
All right.
Dude.
Isn't he too old
I
now,
think
though?
that-
Or would he just be like a Steven Seagal type where he's just giving commands and stuff?
I
I think we should make an action movie with only 90+ actors.
I would expect him to be in better shape than Steven Seagal.
They've already
That's
done
for
that.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
the
I
number.
think-
Fuck you.
I know this is a joke, but I think that's gonna be a tough sell. I'm gonna make some alterations, and I feel like we could get a couple quick million out of this.
All right.
If we switched it to that, like Joe Biden, ruined the police's ability to do their job so much so that they're and then like needed to enforce all the SJW laws on them that they created this like
Fuck.
second police force to police them. And
Yeah,
like
the second
cops,
police force has to be pencil necks with clipboards.
Yeah.
They have to be woke and wearing suits.
Already, the most famous guy you can have on this movie is Kevin Sorbo, probably.
No,
Oh,
could
yeah,
get
well, I think this is like-
we could get Gina Carano as well, and she could be like the lead lead cop chick.
Gina Carano, man.
Whoever's the whitest woman.
Gina-
Gina Carano plays that
Jack,
role.
did you see her scene from the fucking new Hunter Biden movie?
Oh, wait, but who is it? I saw the trailer. It looked insane.
Well, it's the guy from Mandalorian playing Hunter, but Gina Carano is playing a Secret Service agent, like just for the Biden family. And there's a scene where she's getting like groped and smelled by Joe Biden and like moaning.
Oh my God. Yes, I did
It's
see
so
that. I
sick.
didn't realize who it was though.
Yeah.
Everybody looked vaguely familiar.
Oh my god, that's such a fucking.
I think that
Dude,
we could get a
Like,
couple
that's the
million
type of
from
woman he would be into.
whoever funded that would give us money for this like altered version of the SJW
Yeah,
cop
definitely.
movie, where it's like
Yeah, I'm down
funded
to
by
get
just
that
like a
bag.
church.
I like
some
it.
big church is funding movies.
Oh fuck yeah, let's call.
Joe Biden's ideal woman is like a really butch woman who you're surprised when you find out she's not a lesbian.
Oh wow, you're a fighter, huh? Oh hey Mac, you want to wrestle me?
Yeah, let's wrestle.
Fuck. Hey, shout out to Joe Brandon.
What have you guys been diving into lately on the stream?
Ooh.
Have you guys
Ooh,
found any
good
new
question.
freaks?
More of
We did
Vince?
another deep dive into Vince with Stefan from Go Off Kings and Block Party.
Mhm.
Vince is the
sex
sex
guy.
doll guy.
We've been getting into Mandela Effect guys.
Oh
the
yeah,
Mandela Effect
Those
community
ones
is
are
so much
really good.
bigger than I thought.
It's so many
It's-
guys who go
okay.
on there and they're like, they all think they're geniuses. Like, oh my god, they changed
They're
that.
so stupid.
It's yeah, that's gets into a territory where it's like pretty sad. Sometimes those are really interesting to read, but like only like 1 in 1,000.
Yeah.
But I will probably come on and talk about this more, but I'm working on a new podcast right now that's about the paranormal. And
Oh,
like
sick.
that's a similar thing where it's like unfortunately you have to trudge through so many
Mentally
stories
ill
where it's just
people.
like yeah, it's like unfortunately a person that doesn't realize they're mentally ill yet.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of targeted individuals.
We've
yeah,
had some
that too.
run-ins with the YouTube paranormal community.
Oh, they're none too impressed with us.
I think they
yeah,
like
we're
Oh, God.
we're pariahas
They're
with
out for
them.
blood and hot sauce.
it's overlap with the hot sauce community and the metal detecting community.
So funny.
And we
Wait, why are they mad at you? Why is the paranormal?
we made
community
fun
mad
of them
at
on the podcast,
Yeah, we just did
and then they found
They
out
basically
about it.
saw our normal stream, but it was their content.
Yeah, well, like, so we started watching it. It was just like a family where they'd like fucking eat cat food and whatever else,
Normal.
right? Yeah, it was just like stupid food challenge stuff. And then they started live streaming, and we started like kind of watching and following it ironically because it was like maybe the most boring channel that we like
True.
fucking watched. And then I don't know, like us and our community got kind of invested in it because it's like kind of like this like living soap opera because people are always like getting in fights with each other, and
Yeah, there was this
someone was getting
catfish.
catfished.
This guy who was like had a girlfriend who was like supposedly in the hospital, and we
with
found
a
out it
coma,
wasn't real.
and then she would like come out of the
Yeah.
coma, and it was true fucking
Is this- People,
Yeah, it was
are
like a
they
real
making it
soap
up?
opera.
real soap opera shit.
Well,
But-
she wasn't really in a coma. She was catfishing him and just trying to take
Okay.
money from him.
Yeah, just classic catfish type plot.
Well,
It's like,
she pretended to be in a coma and then had her pretend 17-year-old daughter like messaging him and being like, "Hey, I'm her daughter. Thank you for being her internet boyfriend. Like, I appreciate this." And he would be bragging about how they call all the time. Like, they don't call because it's not a real girl calling him. It's just so weird. And so
Yeah.
we got
And,
heavily invested in this.
But at some point that pivoted to like, now what they do is they use some sort of app that plays random sound effects, and you like pretend you can hear ghosts coming out of it, and they just film their kitchen and look for ghosts
some
all
shit you
day
buy
on the
at,
stream.
like, Cracker Barrel.
But that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
the ghost community on YouTube does. There's a few guys who do that. One of them, Jody, Mr. Hunting Ghosts, and like he's also a white rapper
Tom
from like
respects these
Boston
guys.
area. But they just go around places and they have this either an app or sometimes a device if they have enough.
Wait, is his
money.
name Mr. Hunting Ghosts?
No, it's Mr. Hunting the Dead, Jody.
Oh, okay.
It's like, and because Drew
That's a
used to watch
fucking
him a
cool
lot.
ass name.
I mean, he's super funny, but also kind of a freak. But
Mr.
he
Hunting
gets
the
like
Dead.
this. They get this app on their phone, and it like will play like radio frequencies, and then it'll occasionally say a word. Like it's clearly just all fake, but it'll say something like roast, and then they'll be like, "Well, he said something. He's speaking to me. We're in the kitchen now, so he must have been cooking food when he died." And they
It's
just
like
kind
if
of
you
go
took-
off of that.
It's like if you took every syllable from this podcast and cut it up into different audio files, and then had it play randomly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then you would just like try to hear stuff in it.
Dude,
Well,
another popular thing I've seen is I forget the name of the camera, but like a quote unquote tool that people use is basically like the Xbox Kinect camera or something. Have you seen those where it's like
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like a jailbroken Kinect camera or something
Mm-hmm.
where you're seeing like the AI working. It like tracks like stick figures. It's the camera's trying to find like a body, a human
Yeah.
body to
Right,
control,
right.
right?
Seeing
It's
patterns,
trying
I
to
see,
track,
yeah.
but there's nothing there, so it's just like doing the stick figure animation. They're like,
Well, have you seen those videos?
"Oh."
It makes for like spooky content because there will be like a random stick figure appear and like sit in a chair
That's sweet.
sometimes. But it is funny to like be like doing serious ghost investigations and it's like a broken Kinect camera from like
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Wii or
Kinect.
whatever
You
the
can't
fuck.
even like play games on it.
It
'cause
reminds me
it
of the
sucks so bad.
classic broken skeleton toy. The people yelling at it. Oh, it's on the counters dancing. Get
One of the greatest
hell
videos.
out. Yeah.
Fucking before we
Oh
get
my
too far off
God.
the thread, I do want to tell Jack one thing that happened from the paranormal community being none
Please.
too impressed with us. Because I haven't actually talked about this on the regular pod, just on Patreon.
Yeah.
But there's this one guy that we barely watched, maybe watched on stream like twice. And we did, however, watch him once on Patreon when we were just like looking for videos. And we watched him eat, I think it was 1.5 pounds of ham. And
Oh my God.
it was like he was eating 1.5 pounds of ham for time. So he needed to like eat it as quickly as possible. And he was apparently, according to this like leaderboard that he was looking at online, like 53rd in the world at eating ham. And so eventually like this community of people online like found out about us and were like, you know, threatening to call in federal agents for who the fuck knows.
That guy for sure called someone on us.
reacting to content. But so then their like whole community came, and this guy that like we'd like watched maybe 3 times got really pissed off because he saw us on like a stream, and he joined our Patreon to like look for more evidence. And when he canceled his Patreon subscription, he was like, thought that he was talking to like, I don't know, people at Patreon instead of us, and was like, just collecting evidence for these people and their cyberbullying. But he went and through first the FYM Instagram, he found my Instagram and found the like physio clinic that I used to work at.
So funny.
Oh my God.
And he did this like very dramatic live stream where he's like, I've got these people's names, and he said everyone's first name except for he said my like full name, which I don't really advertise all that much. And I'm like, okay, weird. And he's like,
Yeah,
I've already
he clearly
contacted
only
one
knew
of
you.
yeah, like I've already contacted one of their employers, and I'm like, well, no one at work said anything to me yet. Like, is it me? And I was like on a split shift, so I come back and I'm like, hey, did anyone like call you guys maybe about me making fun of them eating a big ham? And our poor receptionist was like, yeah, actually, it was super weird. This guy called from like somewhere in the States, and he wanted to talk to a manager. And I said, no, like the owner isn't available, but like I can field your call. And he was just talking about how you were fat shaming him and cyberbullying because he ate 1.5 pounds of ham. And it seemed like, I don't know if this is the right word to use, but he's trying to like cancel you. Is that right?
Oh my God.
And it was so
so
fucking
funny.
funny because like I'd already quit this job to like go be an electrician. I was like finishing up my like 2 weeks or whatever. But beyond that, the thought of someone calling the gym and being like, hey, one of your personal trainers was making fun of me for eating 1.5 pounds of ham.
Yeah. Hey,
it sounds like a prank call.
Yeah, it's a gym. It's a gym being like, hey, yeah, I'm a man who ate 1.5 pounds of ham. Like,
It does.
and I
straight up
expect you to
sound
be
like
on
a
my
prank.
side.
It is
It's like, what interest does a gym have in not doing fat shaming?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the business, bro.
Like, they're not. It's not going to be a
Oh,
gym
wait, so
that's
it was-
super pro fat acceptance. Like, I don't know what you're looking for.
Also, I didn't realize this whole time it was the ham guy that was on the manhunt.
Yeah, no,
Or was it-
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
the guy who ate the ham.
Yeah,
guy
so,
that ate the
'cause
Oh
ham.
wow, I thought it was
he
just
made a
one of his
video like,
cronies.
yeah, calling us out, and then he subscribed to the Patreon, gave us $3, and then called Aaron's work.
Chapo FYM
Chapo FYM. Guys, I see you.
are a collective group of cyberbullies, terrorists, leftists, hackers, and all other sorts of scum.
Guys, I see you.
The feds are after you guys. How much more communist and ignorant can you get?
And now
That was about
So
it.
now these people are just like doing paranormal stuff for attention, basically.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
I mean,
I think
they
part of them
part-
believes it as well.
I think they
right?
definitely
Like,
believe it
Yeah.
because they have nothing else going on. So why not actually fully believe what they're doing?
Yeah,
and
it's like
then,
a
I mean-
communal thing where they all sit around and like congratulate each other for being like, yeah, you heard that right on that app.
Well, at least it gives them something to do, because what was so funny and engaging with their early streams is they were just sit around in a call for 12 hours every single day doing absolutely nothing. But like smoking indoors, saying, I need to go get another coffee. I need a coffee. And like that was the whole stream. And it was so strange. And then they'd listen to the catfish lady and she would play a song from someone else and say it was her singing. And then they'd be like, oh, that's such a beautiful voice. And that went on for 12 straight hours. And it was just the weirdest part of my life where I just lay in bed and watch these people for a couple hours, just observing these creatures. And now they all hunt ghosts because it's something else. They're actually doing something. Even though they're not leaving their house still, they're still smoking inside. They still don't have anything actually to say. They're doing one more thing.
Yup.
A lot of
Well-
people just like putting content on YouTube. Like old people who discover it late in life, they're just like, I'm going to record everything and I'm going to put it on there. I don't care what it is, whether it's good or bad, if there's content or not. It's like they're posting on Facebook.
I have relatives, you probably do too, that have just fucking photo album after photo album after photo album, and then every single event for every year they took, like every barbecue, every weekend, there's pictures from it. It's so weird.
I want to address this too because I've seen some like comments here and there, like on YouTube and whatever, like asking why we don't talk about this anymore. Because like in our first few episodes of the podcast is when we were super deep into it, And mainly because they were like annoying and calling my work. And I don't know, the joke got played out.
Yeah, it sucks
but
when people are
is,
calling your work. I mean, like,
yeah.
plus
it's
at
just
the same
annoying.
time, they also, like, in response to us making fun of them, they're sort of, like, less funny now. Like, a lot of the stuff that was, like, super, super cringe at the beginning, they've, like, sort of learned not to do, so it's, like, not as fun anymore. Plus, they're, like, yeah, they just do that paranormal shit, so it's just listening to a $5 ghost app go, like,
Or they have their own, or they have their own internal drama where it's just fucking incoherent.
Yeah,
They just get mad at each
completely
other all the time.
inscrutable.
It
Also,
got
though,
boring very
one of my
quickly
favorite things,
once they
Jack,
sort of
about these people
broke
is
it.
that one of the things that we've noticed is a somewhat newer trend even is, I mean, it's always been going on, but it's still happening, is meeting somebody in these little streams. They meet another paranormal person, and then they're just living together like 2 weeks later. Like, they're like, that guy's living in their living room.
It's
Fucking
so
crazy.
funny.
it's like something that you would say as a joke, like being in a group DM with someone for like a week, and then you DM them like,
Hey, man,
"Can I live in your house?
Yeah.
Can I just live in your house from now on?" And they're like, "Yeah."
So
Oh
crazy.
my god.
And then
Yeah,
they're
they're in
like, they
streamer
kick
houses,
each other out
content
of their
creation
houses, and
houses.
like,
Oh, the content house where they all have 4 viewers with each other.
like they'll make they'll let someone move in their house like with a week's notice, and then they'll find out the person's on drugs or stealing from them, and then make a hate stream being like, "This person's on meth. That's why I kicked him out of my house."
So you're probably smoking
That's like-
meth with them.
Why'd you let him into your house? What is going on?
So funny.
Because
In
they
some
didn't
ways, it's like-
know.
Normies having access to like to aspire to be influencers and YouTubers and stuff is like probably the worst thing to happen in the world, but also the best in so many ways.
doing it as a joke.
Yeah, the way they interact with it is so
It's the
crazy.
people with like the least engagement that will spend like their entire lives like agonizing over the drama of
Yeah.
their streams or whatever.
No,
You
yeah,
know?
a lot
no,
of us
don't
have
say
had
that.
big posts, and
Yeah.
we don't like having a ton of followers. We'd rather post somewhere where you don't have like 1,000 eyes on everything. You just don't want it like you think you do.
I recently I know this sounds really weird, but I just started using YouTube for the first time. Like outside of
That's
watching
crazy.
a specific video, like I didn't
I get
digest
that
content.
though. Honestly, I get that. That's probably how it's
But
mostly used.
I finally like linked it to my Apple TV and like I
That's-
like go to my homepage and like get the videos they serve me, and I'm having a really
It's
good time.
lit.
Dude.
We were talking about this with Keith
It's
last
also-
week. It rocks. You can
Yeah,
watch Shark
and
Tank.
I was actually
Dude.
talking about it with my girlfriend just yesterday. Like, and YouTube is just not going to go away either.
No, yeah, it's awesome. My algorithm's so fucked up too. It's like, well, because I share it with my fiance and like she's watching her thing, so it's like part of it's like 1800s like cooking videos. Like I don't know if you've ever seen that woman. She like cooks like old stews.
Yeah.
But then I have
Kay's
like
cooking.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
watch-
of course.
I watch like a guy who like 3D prints various assault weapons
Oh
and
yeah.
like tests them, and then I also watch this guy named Dubs who's like he's just like an ex-convict who just like talks about stories from the yard and talks really slowly. It's almost like a weird ASMR, but he just talks about like weird like prison drama. It's content for other ex-cons,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm just like the outsider.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's serving me really weird stuff now.
Before we get like too far off the thread, I want to ask Jack because he's done a lot of like on, but still investigations into freaks and stuff. Have any of them like ever like fired back at you or gotten like too familiar or put you into a position somewhat similar to when they were calling my work?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But nobody's like called my work, but
They haven't called Wardell. Like,
yeah.
hey, get what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
I think he's like more like he's doing more shows and stuff, so he like sees more people, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people have more access to
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
You'll
He's
get the
like-
blame from the freaks though, obviously.
But only a couple people. The only one that would be funny and worth mentioning is like I don't want to mention him because he'll
Oh, okay, yeah.
might be listening.
That's mine
But
and Jason.
Just spell it.
I mean, it's like it's never. No, actually, Jason's sick.
I believe that.
I like him.
Yeah, you
And
had
the-
him on.
The opposite of that is like Jacob Wool. Weirdly, I enjoy him a lot.
Surprisingly
Like, he
down to
we
earth,
might do
very
an-
chill.
dude. He's a great. I actually like want to hang out with him because he hit me up. We used to communicate over email, but I think he's going to come on again, which would be his third time, I think. And
Wow, returning
he-
guest.
he only lives like 30 minutes away from me, I think. So
Fast
I haven't
friendship.
heard back, but I was like,
Same initials.
I think both times I've offered like, hey, like, you know, if you want to come on in person, like, come over. Happy to have you. Like, I figured it'd be worth it. But this time, I actually do want to hang out with him. Like, I think it'd be really fun. I would 100% go get dinner with Jacob Wool. I don't know how the world would respond to it.
Does his dad
Yeah.
come with him though?
Yeah, I was about to say I want his dad to come and his little friend.
And Jack Berkman.
Yeah, Jack Berkman.
Because
He's literally so funny. Like, objectively, he's so funny.
Remember they got arrested in Detroit? This is dumb
It's
shit.
crazy
No.
that he's still going. That he's like,
I
I
I
don't
don't
know.
really heard anything from him in a while.
I thought he would have been in jail by now.
Well, he has this To Catch a Predator show. Are you familiar with
Oh,
it?
No.
what? No.
Oh my God, guys. Well, you should watch that in the stream, but
Absolutely.
that's what he came on to talk about last time.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Does he-
Well, he's
wait.
dude, he's so shadow
He's gonna
banned. that
text himself or Jack Berkman. Hey.
He him and Jack Berkman have this show called Predator DC where they like it's just literally To Catch a Predator, but they do it in DC and it's Jacob Wool instead of Chris Hansen. But
Well, there's an
they seem to
entire
be catching
like,
real pedophiles.
there's a YouTube
like-
subculture of like pedophile like chasers.
Pedophile beatdown. Yeah,
Probably the
yeah.
wrong word, but like we've watched some of those videos on stream before.
Pedophile catchers.
Yeah.
Catchers,
it's-
yes.
Chasers.
Those like the curve of those is like it's really funny at first and then it goes way down as you watch more of it. Like by the
Yeah, 'cause
third
you
one you
realize
watch,
all
it's
the
just
guys
like,
are
oh,
like-
I hate this. This is just brutal.
All of the guys like 1 degree of bad, just like 1 degree better of a person than the pedophile. Like just right there with them. Like you're both pieces of shit.
I feel like if there's
different
too
ways.
many of those videos out there, it'll probably make the pedophiles just resort to being worse. Be like,
Um,
yeah, I just kidnap kids instead. Like,
Well,
I
let
think
me
it's-
ask this about Jacob Wool.
trying to
because
date
he
him
has
is not
hold
working.
on,
I just got to kidnap the kids.
Hold on, hold on. Let me. So he's got that show, right? When he's catching pedophiles, but hasn't he also falsely accused almost everyone in?
Yes.
Yes.
And there's also an article on The
Like-
Verge about like crew members being assaulted on the show during the
so
production
I
of the
wouldn't
show.
imagine considering.
Allegedly.
Well, who's to
Predator
say?
DC.
Jesus Christ.
I just
Listen, Alex, that's
Yeah,
Jack's
maybe-
friend
maybe
you're
they're
talking
lying,
about.
but it is
Have
very
some
funny
bedside,
that he's
some
like
table manners.
his whole show now is like, oh, let me catch predators, and he kind of got driven off of everything else because the false accusations against what was it like that Ilhan Omar married her brother. What was it? Pete
Robert
Buttigieg. Wasn't it Elizabeth Warren?
Oh, that
Pete
too,
Buttigieg
yeah.
was gay. Was it saying that somebody like
gay.
had sex with like Elizabeth Warren? They just hired some U.S. Marine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Elizabeth Warren. Some guy was like, "Yeah, she's
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
and really
I just think
kinky
it's funny
and
that
like
he's-
scratched me
he-
up."
She whipped my back with a whip. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Like, why do that to her? Maybe Amy Klobuchar. People would have believed that. Like, oh yeah, she's like dominant in bed. But
because
Liz
that was
Warren.
how long ago was that now? Like 3 years plus, right? Like it was before 2020. So
God
I think
damn.
I was still going through puberty.
Dude, he was doing stuff that, like, if any of us did it, we would be in jail
Yeah.
right now.
yeah,
100%.
But
Yeah.
the reason he can't be sued is that, like, you would have to first prove that he's a serious person that could be taken
True.
seriously.
He's
That's
a
like the
clown.
loophole. It really is like a loophole. Like, you can't,
Fuck.
at least for lawsuits, in order to prove damages, you have to prove that he's, like, a serious person.
hmm
Like, you know, that's why comedy shows can't really get sued for.
Yeah, and that's why
defamation,
we
'cause
can't
it's
get
like,
sued
yeah,
for making
nobody-
fun of you eating cat food with your mom on YouTube.
Yeah, you know
Like,
what
it's-
though? You know what though, Jack? You're right. That's why we need to go to these comedy shows and walk up on stage and punch the fuck out of anyone that's talking shit. You know?
no
Who's
punching.
with me?
No punching.
Who's
No
with
Will
me?
Smith.
Only slapping.
Oh.
Open hand
Oh,
slap.
that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, we can't do this. We can't have comedy be under attack.
No.
Hey, we need comedy to be a safe space for all these guys.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
comedians and
linking up with Jacob
bartenders.
Wool. I want to hang with him though. Like, before he goes to jail, I want to link up.
Yeah.
But I think people might be mad if they see a pic.
Bro, who
Like a
cares?
dinner
They'll
pic.
100%
Who gives
be
a
mad, but
shit?
yeah, also who cares?
Jack,
'Cause
you
it's
can say
also
you're doing
it
something
as
for
a
your
joke.
content too. Who cares? You get the
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt. I'll defend you. People always believe me.
But I'm telling you right now, it's not for the content, unfortunately, and they'll be pulling this.
No,
clip.
Alex,
yeah,
edit
no,
that
don't
out.
say that.
Alex, edit that
Yeah.
out. Edit it so Jack says, I'll tell you right now, it is going to be for the content.
It's for
Oh, okay.
pleasure. It's for me thinking he's a good person.
Because I
actually don't think it'll be fun. It's only
can't
because
really
I
get
like
mad
what
at
he does.
Like, they still have John Bolton on CNN. And, like,
Yeah.
people from the Trump administration, it's like, he's
Well,
such a low-level figure.
But even then, it's like it's been 3+ years since we've even like thought of Jacob Bull.
Exactly.
He's so charismatic when you talk to him. It's like he's very funny and entertaining. Like there's no way around
Just like
it.
Eric Cartman. That's crazy.
He's
Surprisingly chill.
yeah, like you could be like pretty much like ridiculing him to his face and he'll be like laughing along with you and like I don't know, like the mental gymnastics he has to do to like
He should be a fucking
I don't know,
streamer then.
rationalize
What's he
his
doing?
actions.
This
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, he'd be
Well, I
great.
think
Probably
but dude,
banned.
Yeah, he
I
might
got
be
shadow
preemptively
banned.
banned.
But dude,
I got shadow banned on Instagram just for like posting a picture of him when he was on the podcast.
Martin
Oh, that's
Shkreli.
crazy.
I swear to God.
Martin Shkreli has been streaming for 100 viewers every day. It's been awesome.
Oh my God.
He has,
Yeah, I
he has
hope he
the
doesn't
worst
come
name
back.
too. His name's just like Martin Shkreli 227 or something. Like awesome, man.
I
Does he
can't
have
believe
money?
he's clinged on.
Yeah, he definitely still has money.
I guess he just
Yeah.
likes the negative attention.
Yeah, he's been
Um,
beefing with what's his face, Destiny. Says he's gonna hack him.
Oh,
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
has it, man? That's two
Well,
people I don't want to think about.
yeah, 2 people that are shadow banned, and you don't have to hear about them.
Two
because
blanks
Shadow
fighting.
ban for my
They
brain.
don't have accounts anymore.
2 bleeps fighting. WMB.
Yeah.
Jack,
Not
have you seen fucking Baked Alaska's stream?
Oh
No,
god. So
is
okay.
he still doing it?
No, so
Yeah.
listen, Jack, there's a streaming, the worst streaming platform right now. I think it's upheld, still funded by Alex Jones, called Cozy.tv, where all the Nazis stream. And Baked Alaska goes live every Saturday and listens to the like 5 decades of the Rosary on some YouTube audiobook and just sits there in his pit vipers with his head down praying. And I have
Oh
a-
my
I have
God.
a screenshot from one day from when the stream was starting, so I always I go like once every 2 months and see if he's still doing it. And there was some guy named Douchebag with like a Nazi avatar that's like, no rosary today. And then Baked Alaska responding saying, starting in 5 minutes, and the guy just going, let's go.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Nazi
should
named
start doing that.
Douchebag that's like, I gotta pray the rosary today. Where are you, Baked? All
Is
these
that like
Nazis
those-
sitting there wearing their pit vipers and their fucking trucker hats. You guys look awesomely Nazi.
Is that the Oh dude, I dodged a bullet. I last summer I think it was got offered like a small amount of money to direct something for Pit Viper before like anything
Oh
happened.
shit.
And me and my friend were gonna do it because it was like it had
It still
some
would
I
be
think it
probably
had to
fine
involve
doing
my
it.
friends.
Like those guys tried to co-op it, but it didn't really work that well.
It was like gonna be me and my friend's band, and it was like not worth it for like the money really, but it was like, okay, maybe we'll have fun working together on this project, but like ultimately I think we just like turned it down because we didn't have time. But then like 1 month later it was like Pit Vipers, the new symbol of the neo-Nazis.
I know, like they really do love
Yeah,
it.
that sucks. It sucks for Pit Viper because they've also like come out and like have said
No, I
like
know.
fuck you guys, don't wear our shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know those guys are just gonna wear it because they just say whatever.
I mean, how many white supremacists wear Dockers?
No, I thought New Balance was
Or
the
New
white
Balance.
supremacist shoe.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you could
New
say that about
Balance.
anything. Like
I know.
anything that like old white
Okay, but
dads
honestly,
wear.
the Proud Boys did ruin that fucking shirt.
They
Yeah,
really
they ruined like
did.
the Fred whatever.
Fred Perry.
Fred Hitler.
Yeah,
You know how many
like
shirts?
the skin
Nobody
him
can be
sort
like
of
Fred
thing.
Hitler anymore.
Remember
Fred Hitler.
Did I ever tell you guys my fucking New Balance story?
No.
I was
No.
like poor growing up, right? But my grandma had a little bit more disposable income, so she'd like get us nice gifts or whatever. Went down there and it was in the summer, and she's like, "I'll buy you any shoes you want. We can go to Foot Locker. You can get whatever, just as long as it's under $100, right?" Oh my god, that's crazy because I only got shoes from like fucking Kmart and Zellers, and Nikes were in. Nikes were hot at the time, and so I really wanted a pair of Nikes. And I go in. And I pick out a pair of fucking New Balances because it had the letter N on it. And I thought, oh, that must be Nike. And I came strutting into first day of school of like 3rd grade. And I was like, check out my Nikes. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Those aren't Nikes. That's some other shoe. It's so bummed.
So funny.
Oh
Well, some
my
of the New
God.
Balances look good.
I mean, they're like
Some of them
hip
look
now.
goofy, but they have some good shoes.
They're hip now.
My
Dude,
mom
Aaron, I
definitely
wore
bought me a
fucking Court
FUBU shirt
Classics.
one time.
I wore Court Classics from Costco, Kirkland Signatures. Talk about the fucking worst basketball shoe.
Bro,
No, the worst you
my
can
mom
have
bought-
is the Walmart shoes.
Oh yeah.
I had Walmart cleats.
That was me back in the day, and no one was proud of my shoes.
The ones that stink the first time you wear them forever.
My shoe game was terrible.
They
Until
looked
middle
like
school.
a fam.
Oh.
Sorry, Jack. You're
Middle
saying?
school, I got some skate shoes.
Mhm.
That was
Oh,
the
I
big
was saying
pimp
that my
then,
mom
so
bought
big
me a-
wide ass shoes.
My mom bought me a FUBU shirt one time when I was like in middle school and didn't know what FUBU was, and like luckily one of my friends like stopped me before, like he saw it. I was like, "Look at this cool jersey I got," and he's like, "Oh, dude, like don't wear that to school. Like don't wear that shirt." I was all excited, then I had to return it.
Dude, my friend
almost had an
Stefano, fucking, you just dressed like a normal, like 12-year-old, like white kid, just like jeans, t-shirt type of thing. But we got really into Nelly, and he got his mom to like drive him to Grand Prairie, an hour and a half away, so they go shopping, and he bought a full Vocal tracksuit. So
Dude.
he just like rotated that in with his like normal fucking plain jeans and his
So
t-shirt.
That is so sick, dude. I went
It
to
was like
school in
baby blue.
I went to college in Montana for 1 year, my freshman year, and like it was weird for many reasons, but I remember there was like 4 black people that went to the school, and one day 2 of them came over to smoke weed with my roommate, and I had like come home to like just a weird situation in our room. Like there was 2 very jarring sight to see like black people on this campus. There's literally only like, I feel like there's like 10 black people at this school. And so these guys are in a room, and like there's just like a weird amount of guys packed in, and I don't know, it was just chill. We like talked, they smoked weed and like left. And then like this dude that lived next door to me, I think his name was like Robbie. He's from Montana, and like a FUBU wearing type guy. I don't know what the appropriate word to call that
Or
type of
wanksta.
guy would. Yeah, he was like had this look. He had this look of amazement on his face, and he was like, after they shook his hand, he's like, "That was the first black person I've touched before."
Oh my God.
And he's like,
God.
actually, the second one, 50 Cent was the first. And I'm like, what? And he's like, 50 Cent came and played a concert here, and he high-fived me in the crowd. And he was like,
Jesus Christ.
mouth agape, looking like, whoa.
Now I can't
like
wash
he had just
either of my
been-
hands.
An angelic experience. Yeah, like he just met a celebrity. It was like 2 random black dudes. Where like
Who wrote in
definitely
his
got a
journal,
full ride.
"Dear-"
They got like a full ride to play basketball
think
and like
when he-
move to Montana.
He met the second guy. He was like, it's not as good as the
It's
first
like-
one.
December 2009. Today was lit.
Dude,
Today
well,
was
the
awesome.
other thing
I
is
met
that
a
like
black guy.
he doesn't hang out. This dude didn't hang out with us either, so he definitely just saw them going into our room and like probably knocked on the door, like making an excuse to come hang. Like, yo, what's up? Like, oh,
Awesome.
can I borrow a stapler from you guys? Oh, hey, like,
Hey, oh.
you know,
Smoking?
That's so brutal.
That's awesome.
yeah, like, I mean, I couldn't imagine being a dude like that, like growing up, being like a white FUBU guy in Montana. You know,
no,
there's not much for you there.
that,
It was
I
a
mean, you're
weird,
gonna stand out if that's what you want.
yeah.
that's why I'm so
Dude, that was a
thankful. At
strange
least for the,
school.
I was homeschooled for most of my life, but the first 3 years, like first through third grade, was Air Force schools, and those are some of the most diverse friend groups you'll ever have because it's all just
Oh yeah,
everything you could think
I'm
of.
sure.
Perfect mix, and that was great.
Montana was. I remember there was a grown cowboy living in the dorm right below us, like freshman dorm. So like every single person in there is like 18, like freshly 18, and it's a co-ed dorm. And like I thought it was like somebody's dad that was staying, like that was visiting a lot. But then until I met the dude whose
Holy
roommate it
shit.
is, and somebody's assigned roommate was like literally like if you've seen the show Yellowstone, just imagine one of the ranch hands.
Oh,
like
that's so cool.
50-year-old like burly cowboy that like only wore cowboy clothes and was like, I guess just probably was there going to agriculture school or something and decided
Yeah.
it was cheaper to live in the dorms or something.
That's so sweet.
But it was just like
They,
this man
it's fun,
living there.
It's funny you mentioned that because we moved for my wife to get her PhD, and when we were looking at some of these schools, they would offer you like housing on campus, and it's dorms. Like,
Goddamn.
and it was so funny to imagine like me being 27 and moving into a dorm, freshman dorm, just hanging out with my wife, just living there. And like I'm trying to find work, but just going to the store, be like, "Hey, who needs beer? I'll be the beer guy for everybody."
Jack, you
Dude,
should have
it's
befriended that cowboy and just had your cowboy friend for life. Been like, going knock on his door, and he's just like fucking coiling up a lasso to hang up on a nail that's just in his dorm. And you're like,
It
hey
would have been
man,
so sick.
we're gonna watch The Hills Have Eyes if you're lonesome.
There were a bunch of like young cowboys there too.
Oh, I bet.
They would like, dude, it was a gnarly school because there was like hippies from Portland who were there for like some kind of environmental degree. And then also like the Montana Cowboys, like we had a gun locker like in our dorm. That was like, one of the few features the dorm had
That's
to like
so
check in your
American.
guns.
So
And
cool.
like
Like a communal one?
you can like if you like you needed to store your gun in the dorm, like
Oh,
so you
for
would like
each
check
dorm.
it in at the locker. Yeah.
Wow.
And like somebody like skinned a deer in front of our dorm, like right in front of our
Christ.
dorm. Like
Ugh.
went out, killed a deer, and then skinned it. Like we were
Montana
walking
has
to
the
class
highest
and, like,
rate of gun
seeing
That's so
it.
ownership,
dangerous.
right, in
That's
the
like
States?
you can just from touching the blood, you can get a disease. That's
Yeah.
like the most unsanitary thing.
It probably does have the highest rate of gun ownership, but I would not be surprised because it's also like there's no like you can't like call the cops like if you like to your house in Montana,
Mhm.
it just like wouldn't work that way.
Yeah, they're wolves
So-
and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and wolves and
wolves
bears and like
everywhere.
everything. Like, but I would have one for
Yeah,
sure.
you know, there's a
Isn't that, like-
66.3% of adults in Montana own a gun, which is the highest
That's
in the US,
crazy.
followed by Wyoming and Alaska.
Jack. You know,
I
there's,
guess by percentage of adults, yeah.
you know, there's
Yeah,
been
that makes
a,
sense.
You know, there's been a Twitch stream up for like 4 or 5 years now called Grub Truckers, and it's on the I think they only stream like during the school year, obviously, but it's a burrito truck that's on the University of Idaho campus in Moscow, Idaho, and it's a pretty good stream, pretty good content. Because like,
What do they do?
They'll go live at like 12 a.m. It's just like 8 cameras inside their food truck and drunk college students buying shit. It's pretty good.
Oh my god, that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, like the same guy. It's cool because like it's obviously the same guy that owns it. He's like the main guy that you notice from the stream. But if you check every like 3 months, it's all just new rotation of employees and all college kids. Pretty cool.
Dude, I'm so glad I basically got kicked out of that school like, for being bad. Like, not even like, dude, okay. This is kind of a funny story for the podcast, actually. Like, our dorm was designed by the psychology department as like an experiment. So it's 3 like octagons. It's 4 octagons, like one in the middle. Imagine like a high rise with like a pod in the middle and then like 3 pods connected to it, almost like a little honeycomb.
Mhm.
And like all the room doors faced out into like this like circular formation that we call a pod. The idea was that like if you open your door and like see your neighbor like opening their door across the hall, like it would form like these communities.
Oh, weird.
And there's like only one exit point, you know, like the size of a door to like go into the middle. And then they took like a personality quiz before you joined the school, and I forget what they asked, but it was pretty basic. But what resulted was that like our floor was like, it was clearly like if you said that you like skateboarded or snowboarded, if you said you drank and stayed up late and like smoked, like everybody on our, it was like every single cigarette smoker was on our floor, every person that like partied, and like the pods actually just made like a tribal mentality, and like also you couldn't like the RA couldn't like see what was going on if they looked down the hall. You can't like see anything because of like the way the halls were structured. So as a result, like almost every single person on our floor got kicked out of the dorms like through the year. At the end, there was only like
Damn.
one person remaining. I was actually pretty good, but I got kicked out for like throwing. Kind of too long of a story, but I was like throwing knives around the dorms a lot. Like,
Ah.
like we were kind of bad. Like we were stealing from Walmart a lot, and like we were stealing knives to open up like packages from Walmart and like you know to get the security thing out, and then
Yeah.
we'd like throw those knives around like in our doors and stuff. I got kicked out for that, and then like I got kicked out of the second dorm like not long after. So I had to like in the last month of school, I had to go get this random roommate who was actually pretty cool, but the internet kept going out when we were gaming, and it would make us like really, we get really pissed off because it's like this school internet, you know, and there was like no recourse. So I like called and left a voice memo just trying to make my roommate laugh, saying like, I think I said like that I, like my porn was like at 99% downloaded off like a torrent, and like now I'm pissed off that the internet's out, and like what am I gonna do? Like I don't know. It was just like a stupid prank call, but I like woke up to the morning to like the internet service provider like wing of our school like horrified, saying that I was like making threats
Oh my god.
It was like this whole like, dude, they had to go to this like I had to go through this like process. They ended up kicking me out of all of the dorms, like, and like called my mom. Like they called my mommy, like basically,
Oh my
like
God.
during this,
sucks.
and like mom was so confused and like, mom was like very nice, but this actually made her mad. It was like the head RA being like, "You should hear what your son said." Like she told him what I did, and mom's like, "What? You're kicking him out for making a prank call? That's fucking stupid. Like, why are you bothering me? Like, this is insane." And so I just didn't come back because I would have like been banned from like, I was banned from like everything that was like considered a dorm, which was like so much of campus. But fuck, like, dude, thank God I did, because that school was fucking weird.
How did you end up going to
Terrible.
school in Montana?
I got a scholarship, but also I don't know. I just didn't know anything back then. You know, like I didn't know. I don't think I was paying attention at that point. I wasn't paying attention to anything in high school. You know, so like I think my parents were just like, "Hey, you got a scholarship to Montana." Like I didn't know what other schools were. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't really think
Yeah.
about it. I think it was just like, "Oh, like you got a scholarship. Like you could go here and study film." And I was like, "Okay."
At that
But-
age, you're so overstimulated by that stuff. Like every conversation is about like, where are you going to go to college? What are you going to do? What are you
Yeah.
going to do? And at a certain point, you're just like, okay, I'm going to go to the first one that accepts me.
I'm gonna go to
Whatever.
the first
I
one
didn't
that
make
gives
a
me the
single-
most money or free.
Yeah,
I didn't think
and then
like
and
a
also
single
somewhere
critical
kinda
idea
cool.
or thought.
True,
Yeah,
that's-
like
just
I should have.
anywhere you think like, oh damn, Montana's gonna be sick. It's mountains and hiking.
it's
then
far
you're like, oh,
away.
there's nothing to do.
I can skateboard down the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about. I literally was thinking about that stuff for sure. That was like after I had agreed to it, I was like, oh yeah, we could ride down big hills because I'm from Illinois. I'm like, oh, there's no hills. I could skateboard down a hill in Montana.
True.
Yeah, just being 18, you don't know anything, so you're just
I
like,
don't
sure,
think-
whatever.
Yeah,
for
you should
college,
not
so you
be
can
allowed to
hellbomb.
make decisions until you're 35.
I don't think options were like. Well, I don't know how many options I really had, but I think it was just like presented as like, well, you could go to Illinois State, which is like not fun, or maybe you could go to
Bozeman.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember why that was even in consideration, but I got a small scholarship there. So, dude, I don't even know what I would be doing right now if I followed through and went to school there.
Did the scholarship
no-
pay for the dorms?
Jack, you'd
No.
be shooting commercials for like Cabela's.
Oh, damn. I was going to say, they should give you all that money back.
You'd be doing commercials for like Cabela's and Browning and shit probably. Only.
That would be
That would
sick.
still be
I'd
sick,
honestly
yeah.
take that.
Fuck yeah.
We are winding down on time here, but I did want to ask Chet, how you doing, man?
There's no way he's still here.
Where the fuck did he go?
It's probably a sauce
Edit,
sauce fiasco.
edit it in
Has
next
Chet
time.
been talking in this podcast? I don't even remember.
Well, I remember hearing him early on, and then like we were just talking about a bunch of shit, and like I thought maybe he was just waiting for his time to jump in, didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah,
or
I've been
whatever.
waiting.
Okay,
Oh, there
he's
he is.
here.
We asked you
Dude.
a question, you weren't there, so.
Yeah, and
Aaron, remember when I like called you in peak COVID, like thinking that I like ruined your Rust game, and I was like about to like have a breakdown about
yes.
that was funny.
Oh my god, yeah. Don't.
it, dude.
Oh.
Where I was so new to Rust, and this was like the peak of like COVID isolation. I think.
Oh,
so,
no.
like, everybody's brain was screwy already, but like. Remember, I got like raided. I basically joined while a raid was happening. and
Wait, yeah.
I thought that I did something wrong, and like to me,
I think I heard about this from Chet the morning after, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I was like, I thought I like left the door unlocked or something because I went outside and got killed. So like I thought this was like, I thought I did something horribly wrong, and I was like, oh, these guys just like let me join their game that they've been building for who knows how long.
Like
I was
2
like,
days.
Uh,
Who cares?
I go in without their permission. Like I don't tell them I'm logging on. I log on for fun and like just ruin. I thought I wasn't sure
Oh,
if Rust
yeah, I
was like
see.
a thing where
You-
it's like.
You thought it was all your fault.
yeah, you like I think
And I thought it
DM
was like
me-
maybe months of
yeah,
work.
you like DM me
I thought it was like maybe
panicking
months.
too. You're like, what do I
Yeah.
do? Like,
No, the servers are like 2 weeks
Yeah.
or something.
Depends on which one, but
Dude, I had
Yeah,
no.
it depends on what kind you're playing.
I thought I ruined. Like I thought I knocked over the sandcastle that took like months to build. You know,
Yeah, that's so
Oh,
funny,
that
but
was-
shitty.
I was like literally having like anxiety over it, and I was like, I mean, I knew it was stupid, but I was like, it's during COVID, so I'm like, that's all we have, So I'm like, man, I really think I fucked these guys over. I feel so bad. And I called
I remember
Aaron.
talking
I
you
called
off the ledge. You're like,
Good
no, it's
times.
fine, bro.
I
We
was
just
like,
got
bro,
raided."
I think I just did something bad. You're like, oh no, it's not a big deal. That happens all the time. I'm like, oh, fuck, thank God. And then it turned out, wasn't it like some FYM like fans like that did it?
Yeah, no,
probably.
That group is still going strong too. They're playing all the time. I'm just waiting to I'm waiting for the weather to turn to get back into that game.
I miss Rust.
Yeah, we'll get
Rust is cool.
we'll
Yeah,
give
we're
it-
definitely gonna play some in the winter, fall.
Yeah. We're
Ooh.
definitely not done with that game for probably
Oh, no.
forever. It's too special and cool of a game. So
Yeah,
just can't
and
play it all the
they keep coming
time.
out with more and more cool shit.
Yeah. I just needed a break.
Definitely. Absolutely.
That's what's up.
Beautiful rainbow outside now, everybody. Smile.
Yo, I know
What
we're
a
coming
nice
to an
wrap
end,
up.
but I'd love to come back to promote the paranormal stuff once.
Yeah,
it's time.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
This was,
You said that's coming out
I've also-
October, right?
Yeah, I've kicked around doing like I kind of want to do a 12 or 24 hour like fundraising stream for the podcast. Like at some point, I want to ask you guys about like what that would even look like. But
Twitch actually has a
We'll
new.
see.
It depends on your charity, but Twitch has a new integration where you can do the fundraising through Twitch, so it's like super legit, and it doesn't even look like it's going to some random PayPal account for anyone that's on the fence about it. It's like
it's
tied
gonna go to a
directly
random
the-
PayPal. I'm the charity.
Oh, it's a 12-hour stream for me.
No, well, it's like
We'll have to have
I,
another guy
uh,
tell you about. Just kidding.
I'm like self-funding the first season, so like it would be like
Oh,
pay for
okay.
the next season potentially.
Yeah, so that'd
We'll
be
see.
easy. All you have to do is line up a bunch of basically paranormal YouTubers content. The one-
Yeah,
Well,
if you
dude, I wanna-
if you
I'm
want
gonna have
an in with someone that thinks that George Washington's brother is haunting the forest outside their house.
Oh,
just
dude,
let us
that's
know.
always
Yeah, we got
we got the
people for
plug.
you.
He fucked me.
that's always the red flag when you could tell somebody's schizophrenic is that it's always like a celebrity ghost or something. There's like
yeah,
the
it's so
megalomania of like
egotistical.
yeah, it's egotistic. Like oh yeah, like I'm haunted by Elvis or
Napoleon.
something. Like you really think they picked you?
Genghis
You know?
Khan comes to see me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I want to do that. If I do it, I want to have I'm gonna try to have a ghost hunter like actually doing a ghost hunt,
Mm.
like
That'd be
piped
awesome.
into the stream. Mainly because I don't want to go on a ghost hunt myself. I'll watch it from afar.
So funny.
You can't
I'm
just
not
do like
taking
a
any
24-hour stream of like being in a place that's supposedly haunted, like a hotel.
That'd be cool.
I've
True.
seen them
No.
do that, and like people fall for it, even though nothing happens. It's just a guy sitting there, like using the Wi-Fi.
I
do
should
it
do.
all the
I could.
time.
I
It's
could
getting
do that if
scary,
it's
the
in a
Wi-Fi.
non-haunted hotel. I could do it where it's just like I'm at like some random La Quinta Inn, and like I call it like the haunted stream, but I never specify that the hotel has any history of haunted activity. Just like
looks
maybe
old.
we'll see something. Like I'm just
The
at in the
haunted
dark.
McDonald's 24 hours.
No, I'm
Yeah.
haunted by my past.
Yeah,
The hotel's
Um,
normal.
yeah. We'll have to once I figure out the release date. I'll have to come back on and talk to you guys about.
Yeah.
Ghosts
Well, watch
and-
out for that, everybody,
Absolutely.
and check out. Yeah, but still.
Yeah,
Anything else you'd like to plug?
just stay on the lookout for the new show. That's like the main thing I'm working on right now. Grinding away hard.
Meg,
It's gonna be sick.
Awesome.
thank you for coming on,
Shit.
dude.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thanks,
Thanks
brother.
for having me. Let's game again soon.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right.
cheers.
Peace.
See you guys.
Hello?
Yeah, we're calling about the missing Pitbull poster you put up.
Oh, thank you. Did you find him?
Yeah, well,
What?
we did find him, but we kind of wanted to see if maybe he was good at dogfighting.
Dogfighting?
Yeah, we just wanted to put him in the ring and see if he was good at dogfighting.
What happened?
Well, he wasn't very good at it, so we killed him.
What? Why would you do that?
Because you touch yourself at night.
What?
You just got pranked by WFYM in the morning.
What's it? So the dog's alive?
No, we killed him. That was the prank.